What's going on, guys? Chinese guy here. Today in this video I am going to be giving you guys some tips which can help you improve as an attack helicopter pilot. Tips for the scout helicopters and the attack helicopter gunner are on the way, so make sure you stay tuned to my channel for that. And as always, if you do enjoy the video, please be sure to press that like button and also be sure to subscribe for weekly top-notch Battlefield 4 videos. First, as usual, let's just start talking about my preferred loadout. For my primary weapon, I chose the Zuni rockets because you pack so much firepower in just one of those single tiny little rockets, and you have 8 of them, meaning you basically destroy any vehicle you wish very quickly and effectively. Sure, you do have a smaller magazine size, and sure, you do have a slow rate of fire, but the pure damage of these rockets are good enough as a trade-off for all those things. As for my secondary weapon, I decided to go with the heat seekers. They are super helpful and super important when you're trying to take out other enemy choppers. In a way, I almost found them necessary for air-to-air combat. If an enemy helicopter lands one of these heat seekers onto you, you are basically dead because you suddenly lose the ability to aim and you slowly lower in altitude, leaving you as a sitting duck for the enemy chopper to easily finish you off. So at least if you run the heat seekers, you will have the same equal advantage as your opponent. And before we move on, I want to give you guys a quick little tip for how to use these heat seekers properly. I would definitely recommend you to use them when you get very close to the enemy helicopter, because that way they have no chance to deploy their countermeasure and those 2 missiles will hit, leaving them immobilized, and they'll slowly be drifting downwards, so you can just quickly finish them off with the Zuni rockets. While I do believe the heat seekers are a great choice, but at the same time, the tow missile isn't bad either. I feel like they are underestimated because I don't really see many people using it. They're very good for finishing off enemy vehicles as they do pack quite a punch, and not to forget you have 2, meaning double the firepower. So it's all up to you, but personally I have to choose the heat seekers as they are very important for your survival. Then moving on, I used the Ecm Jammer for my countermeasure. So in my past experience, the Ecm Jammer wasn't very good because it didn't even work properly. But now I feel like DICE has fixed it, and it is very effective to get rid of lock-ons until you can reach to a safe location. In my opinion, I think the Ecm Jammer is a overall better countermeasure than the IR flares, simply because it jams for a much longer period of time. And lastly, for my vehicle upgrade, I chose the air radar. Now, the reason I chose this is because the air radar gives you the locations of the other enemy aircrafts, meaning no helicopter will just randomly sneak up onto you. You'll always be aware of your surroundings and there will be no surprises. So now, after knowing my loadout, I want to know yours to see if you guys would prefer something else that I may not like as much, so just leave your comments down below. Now let's move on to the part of the video where I just give you guys some basic tips to help you become a better helicopter pilot. So before you even hop into a game of Battlefield 4 to fly some choppers, you will have to know that the helicopters in this game, especially the attack helicopters, are very weak. So I would recommend you to choose a map that has good building cover such as Dawnbreaker and Sea of Shanghai. Personally, I think Sea of Shanghai is the best map to fly the attack helicopters because of how dense the buildings are, and in Conquest there is no AA, meaning you don't have to always be watching out for it to avoid it. You want to maneuver around these buildings and you want to use these buildings to your advantage as much as possible. Use them as cover to break lock-ons and dodge incoming missiles. Secondly, once you spawn into your chopper, you have to do 2 things. First is make sure you have a gunner. You always, I mean always, want to fly with a helicopter gunner, as they are super helpful in many ways, and they can kill infantry much easier than you can, and they can definitely help you shoot down enemy aircrafts. In a way, sometimes I feel like the pilot's main job is actually to ferry around the gunner because that 30mm cannon is just super powerful, and there has been countless times where my gunner just saved my ass and the helicopter. Second thing which you have to make sure to do is just to simply fire off 1 rocket from your rocket pods. By doing so, you will start replenishing new rockets, and in the end you will have almost another full set of extra rockets, which can definitely help you in a time of emergency, or if you want to get aggressive and kill lots of armored vehicles. Now, during a helicopter battle, whether it is against a scout helicopter, attack helicopter, or maybe even a transport helicopter, whoever flies higher than their enemy or lands their heat seekers on their opponent first will most likely win. Make sure you fly nice and high, and make sure you launch those heat seekers at the right time, or else you actually may lose the battle. In Battlefield 4, I would not recommend you to play as aggressive as you would have played in Battlefield 3. Helicopters, especially the attack helicopters, are much slower, have less firepower, and in general I feel like they're underpowered. I would definitely recommend you to single out different targets. Don't go for kills which involve with multiple enemy vehicles. Like I said before, don't be as aggressive as you would have, and you want to isolate a vehicle and concentrate all your firepower onto it. Overall, I feel like the Battlefield 4 attack helicopters are just underpowered and in general kinda sucks. There are just so many things out there on the battlefield which can take down these choppers very easily, from RPGs to jets, or maybe even a tank if you're unlucky. I think DICE should give the attack helicopter a little buff, maybe add some speed and agility to it, but I don't think they should increase the damage of any of its weapons, as they are already super powerful. So guys, that's it for today's video. Be sure to leave your comments down below regarding your attack helicopter loadout, because I do read them and reply to them all. As always, I want to thank you for watching the video. If you did enjoy it and want to see more videos like this, be sure to press the like button and also be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Peace out guys.